In Japan, January 1961, Canon introduced this camera, the Canon Canonet. They had no idea that they would sell 2 million of them in the next 24 months. Let's go. Throughout this whole video, you're going to see the photographs that I took with this camera. Hello everyone, Carmine from New York here. This is photo class number 468. We're going to discuss today this gorgeous Canon Rangefinder film camera. This camera, the Canon Canonet, and in the United States it's known as the Canonet 19, sold by the distributor Bell & Howell. In Japan, this camera is known simply as the Canonet. But in the 60s, Japan really had no experience selling to a huge market like the United States. So they needed an importer like Bell & Howell, who was well established. They had marketing, they had a distribution plan all throughout the United States. So Canon said to Bell & Howell, let's sign a contract. You're going to be the importer of the Canon Canonet 19. Let's go over a few things about what makes this all-metal rangefinder film camera so sought after by professional photographers and amateurs alike. First of all, there's no battery in this camera at all. It's 100% mechanical, which means you will never be stuck that you can't take a picture because you don't have a battery. This camera is all mechanical. It's a little different, it's the way it's set up, than other cameras. For example, on the bottom is the rewind crank. On the bottom is the film advance crank, right? It's wonderful. Now, instead of having a button to push in for the rewind, on the Canonet, you simply put this little lever to R for rewind, and it loosens the take-up spool sprockets to go reverse, so you can load the film back into the canister. To open up the back of the camera, you need to throw a switch, hit a button, and then it opens. They really did not want you to ruin your film by accidentally opening the back. The back of the camera is extremely standard. Pressure roll for the film to stay put. Pressure plate to keep your film flat while traveling through the opening in back of the lens, so your film lays flat, so there's no out of focus areas. Take-up spool, take-up sprockets, and tracks to keep your film straight. Very, very uncomplicated system. The front of the camera has what everybody wanted. The Canon lens SE 45mm 1.9, very fast lens for 1961. Now, The photographs that you're going to be seeing throughout this whole video were taken on Canon Film 100. I developed it in my darkroom in Rodinal Developer at OnePlus 25. Now, getting back to the camera, the fully mechanical camera, all right, first the shutter speeds go up to 1/500th of a second, and it does have B for bulb. The aperture ring also, I'll show you close-ups of it, go from f1.9 to f16. And for focusing, you have this really smooth throw button attached to the lens barrel. You see how the lens goes in and out, because when you're looking through the viewfinder, I'll show you a video now. As you focus, right, you have your subject and you're looking through the rangefinder. When both subjects are lined up, you're in focus. If it looks like this, you're out of focus. When you turn the lens, now it's in focus. Simple, simple, simple. If you are going to do street photography with this, which I highly recommend, listen to how quiet it is. Very, very quiet. But you can set your focusing, okay, which is over here, right? You could just do some zone focusing, because the difference between 10 feet and infinity is like 1/16 of an inch. So if you were to shoot everything at f8, you would have enough depth of field to just not even have to look through the viewfinder. Just take your photo and it would be in focus. With zone focusing at f8, because you would have that depth of field or depth of focus. I know everybody's used to advancing their film with the thumb, but you know what? Having it down here, I think it's a little faster actually than if it was up here. I don't really know why Canon decided to put it here. It was probably mechanically sound to put your film advance right down here. And I like the way that it stows away when you're not using it, and when you're ready to use it, it just pops down and the film crank is ready. Okay, this camera came with a selenium light meter. You can see it, it's right around the lens, okay? And what happens to this 60-plus-year-old selenium is that if it was not kept away from the sunlight or room light, it does degrade over time. So would I use a 60-year-old selenium light meter for my photographs? No, I don't. I use this TT Artisan light meter. You guys have heard me talk about this many, many times, right? It's not a sponsor. I bought it. They're about $100 on Amazon, and it's very, very simple to use. You just press the button on the back, and it gives you lights, and you just turn the dials on the f-stop or the shutter speed, and it'll tell you what is the perfect exposure when the light turns green. Okay, so I would not use the built-in light meter. This particular one that I got, the rangefinder still works perfectly, okay? But if you want to save even more money, okay, these are not very expensive at all. You could just use zone focusing, like I mentioned before for street photography. You can set it between 10 feet and infinity, use f8, and boom, you're going to be in focus. That's the way you save money. When you go on eBay and it says rangefinder in through the lens, rangefinder not working. Who cares? Just use zone focusing and you don't use it. Okay? You could just use it as a viewfinder to frame your shot or just look straight over the top of the camera. So what I need you to do now is comment below if you've ever used the Canonet or any Canon camera. Let's look at all the photographs right now I took with this rangefinder by Canon. Let's go.